Welkom bij de allereerste Adformatie vlog. We zijn vandaag op de Dutch Virtuality Days. Naast mij Peder Sandqvist van Digitas LBI. Hi, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Very short. Peter did a great job with the Volvo Virtuality Case. They presented the Volvo Virtuality car before it was even on the market. In short, do you think in the future we will see more virtuality cars without actually being there, or how do you see the future sales of virtuality and the car market getting together?
Yeah, I think especially I think all type of product marketing will benefit from VR in different ways in the future, but I think the car industry will be one of the first early adopters in this space because they have a product that is quite surrounding. So you're in a small space. There's a lot of stuff to explore, and that is easy to adapt in VR. And of course, they also have a product with a lot of number of options, and they sell an expensive lifestyle product that requires you to feel something about their product. So I think we'll be seeing car brands doing a lot of interesting stuff in VR moving forward, and I think we'll start to see more interactive experiences where it will actually be possible to configure your car and experience the actual car that you are looking to buy. And looking at this movement we're seeing now where people are getting more and more used to buying stuff online, I think this will be a very interesting part of buying a car online, being able to sort of experience your car through virtual reality before you actually click the buy button. So I think a lot of interesting stuff will happen there moving forward.
If we look closer at the Volvo case, you presented the virtuality at car shows and trade shows. How did you make the connection between online, as I call virtuality, and offline, actually being there? Did you train the staff, or how did the interaction go?
Yeah, so VR is interesting in that sense because VR is very, very personal. You strap this thing onto your face, and the thing that you are experiencing in there is very hard to share because it's very personal. It's something you experience. So what we try to do with the Volvo case is build an interesting area in which people would experience the VR experience. So for example, at the big car shows, we build this big glass room in the middle of the Volvo area. So it's like this big fish bowl where you have 4 people doing the same VR experience simultaneously, which is quite interesting because everybody reacts a little bit differently, but when there's certain interactions happening in VR, they all move in synchronization. So that opens us up for interesting sharing possibilities where you have these 4 mysterious persons doing something that looks quite mysterious, and that can be quite share-worthy in and of itself. But I still think it's a challenge to find a way to actually share the VR experience, and nobody has really cracked that yet.
And if we take this point and we look into the wide future, let's say 5 years from now, how do you think the branded storytelling, as I see this, in virtuality would look like? Do you think we can reach the mass? Do you think a lot of people are gonna see branded storytelling through cardboards, or do you think it will stay focused, so at events or when somebody guides you through the virtuality experience?
So we're always talking about, when we talk about VR, we try to talk about small, medium and large experiences, and I think those building a coherent storyline between the big experiences that you do at events and places where you can build a static setup and maybe something that is a medium-sized experience, that is something that is maybe run as an app through the Oculus Home in the Gear VR or similar products, and a small experience which is something you can actually view inside a cardboard. I think it's a challenge to try to build VR experiences that span all those 3 areas. But I think when we'll be able to do that in a nice way, I think you could have a very, very interesting VR storytelling that could really sort of make a brand story very, very interesting.
Yeah, valid point. Thanks a lot for this short insight into the Volvo case.
Thank you.
Dit was de eerste vlog van Adformatie. Stay tuned. Er komen nog meer vlogs over de Dutch VR Days. Bye.